Hello and welcome to Real Hi-Fi Help, giving you audio hi-fi gear sins number 3. So this video is probably mostly for those of you that have some kind of a streaming solution, but you can also apply it to other parts of hi-fi. So recently I heard from my friend, and I also experienced this on my own streamer, that these DC cables that exist that go from these linear power supplies, LPSUs, they usually are so bad that if you change them to a decent standard, you can actually get, improve the sound quite a bit. So try and do that, and also notice that these plugs seriously degrade the sound. So you might want to look into getting some proper plugs like Oyade or something like that, or some proper Nutrix or whatever. Don't underestimate how big a difference that really does. But yeah, you kind of want to do these types of things later when you've got like a decent streamer. So yeah, I find it amazing how you really can improve these power supplies by really a lot. So here we have teradak, and yeah, they make some pretty good LPSUs, so try and visit them. But also, plug, not really the best. You could improve on that. Again, not really the best. You could improve a bit, but just putting some 3M Scotch adhesive pads supporting the board can help a lot. And let me just go on to the next point. Sometimes you also have some really bad, cheap Chinese caps, and just changing them to some good, decent Japanese quality ones will actually sometimes, actually many times, improve the sound. So you might as well try and do that if that's possible. And you could also change the resistors and plugs, but when we're talking about resistors in this type of quality of gear, it doesn't always make I would say a difference that is a lot better, because you need like really good stuff inside to have really good resistors that reveal a lot more. So maybe you shouldn't do that, at least to start with. So yeah, still a lot of good stuff you can get, and you shouldn't really underestimate. I've told you guys about this in one of my previous videos, but you shouldn't underestimate how much 3M Scotch adhesive pads. It's like it's like a little container for about, I don't know, $3-5. That can change your CD player. That can change your LPSU, your DAC, your amplifier. I think a lot of people should really seriously try and just put a tiny bit of that on your circuit board, not on it, but supporting it between the chassis and the circuit board. It can really make your sound a lot more bass rich in a good way. And again, inlets, yeah. When we have these like cheapish China boxes, the inlet plug usually vibrates a lot, and the base metals that are used in these plugs, especially inlet plugs, are usually it's usually a lot of nickel and low quality copper and other sorts of metals that are just like the most basic stuff out there, and it can really kill a lot of sound. So especially when you've made all of these upgrades, changing the inlet as one of the last things, you'll suddenly realize that you get a more stable, warm, nice sound that is more human. So yeah, a lot of that lack of humanity and stiff type of PC sound where it's sitting on the sound actually comes from inlet plugs. But yeah, you kind of want to avoid using an Oyade inlet plug if it isn't a really high quality build that you have, because you can actually put a plug in that reveals too much, so the sound isn't as good. So it's like the same with cables. You can have some really good cables, they actually sound worse because you're connecting it to equipment that isn't on the same level. So yeah, and we've got these power supplies for our switches and our routers, and sometimes you can just get like the same the same specification power supply that just is a much better quality, has thicker cable and better tolerance, and just runs a lot less noisy. But you could also, in theory, I've done this with mine downstairs. You could, especially when you have thinner wire than these here, that really ultra thin wire, then you can actually gain a bit of a musical advantage from just wrapping it round with some black tape. But you, of course, have to. I can't really say that you should do this. You should contact an electrician and be guided by him to what is legal and okay to do. But I've experienced several times that these really standard, like $1-2 power supplies. I'm not just talking about these, but the ones that are below these, they're just really, really noisy. So you might want to try and consider doing something about that. And also, like I've said before, turn off Wi-Fi, turn off VPS. These types of things usually put a dampener on your sound, making it like a lower level of warm. So you want a more released type of sound, and that's what you get by just deactivating Wi-Fi. Try and use a cable. It's not as sexy because suddenly you then can't use your iPad or phone or whatever to control the music. But every time you cut off a link, you get a more direct response. So you might want to consider and do that if it's possible. But also look at this. I don't think I've mentioned this before in one of my videos, but this is called an FMC converter. So if you have some fiber net coming into you, fiber connection, internet connection, you might want to consider using one of these boxes. They actually don't cost a lot, probably only cost like $100 or so. And it's simply something that converts it from fiber to LAN connection. But in the process of doing that, it filters out a lot of the noise. And I've especially heard at my friend's place that this actually does a huge amount for, the quality of sound, the black level that you're getting. So seriously, try and consider this, because especially when you have these very bad power supplies for these fiber boxes or standard internet boxes or ISP boxes as we call them, you just you want to use things like this. This is like a huge advantage to you. And yeah, like a bit off topic here, but standard tubes, try and avoid them if you have tube gear. Standard tubes just kills sound. So you want something that's better than standard. Of course, if you've got equipment like Macintosh or some other similar equipment in that range, that class, you usually don't get a huge difference from changing the tubes. So you most likely just want to use the standard tubes. But that fun, that excitement, that ultra layered, detailed kind of detail where you've got beautiful voices that are just magical, and you've got this like fantastic tonality. You don't really get that with standard tubes, and it's because of the price, and a lot of these special tubes just don't comply to these higher standards, so that's why they can't sell them with the equipment. So yeah, again, yoga foam mats, you can get them in blue, black, whatever. Cut that out and put it underneath your gear. You will be surprised how much that will help your sound. And just before I wrap things up, just want to say that I have a lot of videos that are very long, 20 minutes to an hour. Try and watch them all, and if you can give me a like, that would be nice. That will help me get my message out to the people. And just I see that a lot of the people that watch my videos don't watch more than 4.5 minutes in average. That's also because I'm a bit old-fashioned. I don't do things in the usual way. But you're actually cheating yourself by not watching the entire video, because everything I say isn't written down. So do yourself a favor, look at all those videos. Those videos could be taken down tomorrow, and you'll just be missing out on a lot of different stuff. So there aren't any other hi-fi channels out there covering all the things that I'm covering. Go and get that information while it's possible, and yeah, that should really help you elevate your sound. And you know, I have like more than 150 videos. You should consider each video for me like me giving you $1,000. So go out and you know, go through all of those videos from start to end. There's a lot of good stuff in it. Like also one of my videos, like how to improve your hearing. You know, you might not think that that's relevant, but trust me, when you see videos like that, you'll see some small things that other hi-fi channels will never ever show you. Like for example, you know, getting a huge amount of lentils in your diet will increase the amount of folic acid that you have in your body. And folic acid is one of those few things that we're seriously lacking, and it affects our mood and how we interpret sound. So just have a look at that, you know. Those are really good videos. Also videos like how much do stores make on you, how much they earn. Just look at all of those videos, because they might easily be taken down tomorrow, because it only takes one guy being pissed off because he has a Macintosh sound equipment, and then he reports me, and then I have to go through a long process, and then another guy could do that in the same time span, and then suddenly it's like 1, 2, 3, and then the entire channel is just gone, and you will have missed out on a lot of stuff. So just, you know, save all of these videos, go through them all, like all my videos, and yeah, it will enable me also to produce more videos with high quality content. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys, and remember to like and subscribe. Bye.